Also, is something we have to look at if it's taking Laramie County longer to move certain trials through than the rest of the state, then that's probably an issue. We are the capital city, and I think we need to have a strong and efficient government. The jail can't run properly if it's at or near capacity a lot of the time. So again, that goes back with the government thing. As far as the seventh penny, I do like the Children's Museum. The city of Cheyenne has donated taxpayer dollars to United Way for a long time. I think the Children's Museum would invest in our youth and keep families in Laramie County. I think it would have been great on the 6 penny ballot, but that being said, if it is on the 7th penny, then it'll be up to the voters to decide it.
Okay, I'm going to try to ask this one in a more concise manner. When you, as I said, when a member of the public wants to speak for the county commissioner, there's a little form that they have to fill out. If elected as county commissioner, would you support the continuation of this policy? Why or why not?
I am a First Amendment guy. I think the true bosses of Laramie County, if they have a grievance with this county commissioner, with my open door policy, I don't believe you need to come sign no piece of paper to come talk to me. And I don't think that it's right to have any citizen sign that to speak, and I would be an advocate against it. I think it's time to make public more comfortable to want to come and articulate their arguments to why they have that grievance with our government, or when we have the communication with our community, we both learn from it and we become a better government. I'm going to not consider that at all as being something. I think what should be considered in our meetings, at some portion of the meeting, that there should be from the clerk or commissioner, is there any open topics for the public to speak on? And then they have a chance to tell us that situation or what they would like to talk about. Now, if there's a upcoming meeting where you need both sides there, I still am not in favor of them signing in, but having both sides there so we can get both sides of the issue out there so the commissioners, if they do have a vote on it, can. But this is a First Amendment right. I will protect that right along with all the other constitutional rights we have. Thank you.
So we've received this question in the past, and what I've told the individual who has asked about it is that I don't particularly have an issue with having, similar to what the city does, having at the end an open forum time where citizens can express things that were not covered under our agenda. I think in regards to the ability to address this in a formal meeting, beyond the ability to pick up the phone, I think that would be a really good avenue to facilitate that. The form that's being referenced is the form to put an item on the agenda. The idea is that then it can be publicized so other members of the public who wish to be there have the opportunity to do so if they want to learn more about the issue that the individual is bringing, or to have the opportunity to comment. It's been advertised and they have that opportunity to be there, as well as an opportunity, if there are more than one party involved in the issue, for them to be there. So I think that we could certainly create an additional avenue to provide for a more open format, a more accessible format in the meetings. But I also think it's important to recognize why there's an agenda form to put an item on the agenda, and that's one, to make sure that everybody who is interested in that topic has the opportunity to be there, and two, that they have the opportunity, if there's somebody else involved in the topic, to get them at the meeting. But by no means does that preclude us from opening up an open format at the end of the meeting for conversation on whatever somebody would like to bring.
I think the form it is okay. I've been to city council meetings before and used the form. I think it just facilitates a more organized meeting. It just keeps the meeting organized. It keeps it aflow, and it also lets you have a contact information in case you do have questions, notes were missed, you can always find the person who was concerned about that specific item.
Well, I've been asked this question several times in several different places. And right now, the Laramie County Commission has taken the tack that they wish to have a form for the agenda. That has been the majority of the opinion every time we have talked about it. So, and the reason for that is that if there is something brought up during the meeting, or there's going to be a discussion about a topic that we're not aware, that we can get some background information and we can be prepared for it. Also, I know at times that we have people that would like to come in and talk about a certain subject, and to is disparaging towards some of the people that are not there to represent themselves. And if we have an idea of what the topic is, if they want to discuss one of the organizations or some people in Laramie County and it's on the agenda, those people are also there, so they're able to enter into that discussion. So I guess at the present time, Laramie County has a long tradition of requesting that you fill out a form to know what you're going to talk about, and until that is changed by a majority of the commission, that's, I guess, what we're going to do.
All right, thank you. I guess we're going to start with Amber this time. I heard a lot, that's underlined all the times on here. People say that I wouldn't know my elected official if I saw them. What would you do to change that?
Well, first off, I guess I kind of have to question that because I've been approached in Mongolian Grill, I've been approached in the grocery store, I've been approached at church, I've been approached at public functions. You know, people certainly know who I am. They walk up to me and talk to me, or they call me or Facebook me or send me an email, or you know, I guess I kind of struggle with that concept because, you know, I can't even go to Mongolian Grill without being recognized, so I don't quite know what to do with that one.
I really want to be active among the community, so I don't think it would be far off to say that I would like to hold meetings, possibly coffee shop meetings. I would like to do town hall meetings. I would like to be active in social media. If anybody would ever like to contact me, would like my phone number would be published at any time. I'd be 100% accessible and in the community the entire time if elected.
I guess if people don't know what I look like, they can always go to the post office and look in there on one of those posters. My picture's generally on that, some way or the other. But seriously, I try to get around to a lot of different events. My business card from the commissioners has my own personal cell phone number on it. I'm active on social media. I do not have a website, but I have a Facebook page. Whenever somebody has a question, I always get back with them when they call the commissioner's office. And I go to a lot of different places and talk to a lot of different people about a lot of different subjects in the last 4 years. I think all the way from the east end of the county to the west end of the county, from the north to the south, and I've been accosted or visited in church, at chamber meetings, I've been stopped on the street more than once, and so I try to make myself visible and available to the public, and I think I do everything that I possibly can, and if somebody asks me to come to an event and be there just to visit with the people or to talk, I always try to make myself available. Thank you.
This goes back to being a people person. We started the town halls when I was county commissioner, and we held 4 of them. Some of these county commissioners come to the first one, then I did not see them come to the rest of them, but we continue to have them. I think it's very important for our community to be engaged in their government. And that way we know the will of the people and we know how to represent you better. Some of these issues are being discussed here tonight. This is very informational. That's what happens at the town hall meetings. And the public is invited. And I've seen up to 200 people at them, 120 people. Then they take that issue, articulate their arguments, and take that to the meetings that we're having at our county commissioners. I will tell you what a constituent told me since you've left, Emily, that we don't know what's going on with the county commissioners. I think it's because we need more town halls and we need to interact with people. And this is a citizen that will do that. This is a government by the people and for the people. And I think encouragement to get involved in your local government, this county commissioner won't stop that. Thank you.
All right, Kevin, now we're back down to your end of the table. What is your touchstone? From where do you get your grounding?
Not sure what you mean by touchstone.
How do you keep grounded?
Okay.
Okay.
I was going down that path, just wanted to make sure. Hands down, my family. My family is everything to me. No matter what happens, I can always count on my family and my friends for being there for me. Even if it's just hanging out with them, that's literally my livelihood, so it's my family.
I'm not sure I understand your question. You said, what is my touch?
What is your touchstone? How do you stay grounded?
Oh, okay. Yeah, how do you stay grounded? Yeah. Well, I've got a wife, first of all, and that keeps me pretty well in line, but I have a fairly strong religious faith. I'm not one that is real vociferous about it. I'm more quiet about a lot of those types of things than a lot of people. And I was brought up in a family that honesty and integrity, those were two of the things that you did not go back against. And so I think that's what keeps me grounded. And I also have a great faith, even though we're in some pretty tough times here in the United States. I have great faith in the American people that we are going to wake up one of these days and see what's going on in Washington, D.C., and change what's going on in Washington, D.C., and so we can kind of get back to having the government serve the people instead of just all of the edicts coming out of Washington, D.C. that affect us all. They affect us all individually. They affect the state government. They affect us at county government. And I think we need to go back to having the federal government become more citizen-friendly.
This is really a great question, and I'm not asking for time to think about it. I know it from my heart. It's in God we trust. It's on my political signs. It's there for a reason. It's because it's the truth. It's Jesus Christ and Him crucified, and that's what binds us all together. Also, what needs changed is that Constitution. We need to dust it off and implement it where it's intended. The Constitution is one thing that can bind us all together in consensus to have that type of government. Limited government, hard-working, and limited regulations. And some of those values and principles are in the Republican platform, which I've been for 20-some years. We have to get elected officials that are going to say and promise they'll hold to the Republican platform when they call themselves Republican. Doesn't need to be a whole lot of Republicans in a race if they vote just like a Democrat. You have to get those candidates that are willing to lay it on the line, be able to stand alone, smile at them, be happy about it, articulate your argument, and tell them no.
So in regards to my touchstone, one, I'm a member of Our Savior Lutheran Church, and we're very fortunate there to have two great pastors, but we also have a really close relationship with Trinity Lutheran, in which we have 2 additional pastors available. So, you know, a lot of times when I find myself struggling, I find that that's a really good place to go and to be able to have those conversations about particularly as it relates to the county about what the issues are, and to seek out that guidance. And the other thing I think in regards to the touchstone is that my family. My family is very important to me. I have a little girl who is 4 years old, and my husband, and I think that family is a great gift from God and something to be treasured, and something that I truly do treasure and truly enjoy.
All right, we're going back down here to Buck. In the past 4 years, well, I guess it's 3 of you building this. In the past 4 years, how many projects have you been assigned, and how many have you completed?
Well, I don't know what you mean exactly by projects. We have passed 3 budgets, and we're working on 4. The commissioners work more of as a team on the major projects, and then we kind of branch out, and each of us handles individual groups. For example, I have been on the Southeast Wyoming Development District ever since I was elected. That was 3 years. That's a combination of the 4 counties, Albany, Platte, and Goshen, and Laramie, and we work together on economic development projects that are good for not just Laramie County, but also Platte County and Goshen County, Albany County. I was a representative to the Chamber Board from Laramie County Commissioners. Right now I'm sitting on the Leads Board as a ex officio. Was an ex officio on the Joint Economic Powers Board. I don't know if you're talking about brick and mortar projects. Most of those were already going when I was elected commissioner, so I don't think I can really take any credit for those, except that we managed to go ahead and get them done. Right now, I have spent a lot of time in the last couple or 3 years in the background working on how to come up with a facility for the fair out at Archer. Also worked with architects early on the remodeling of the courthouse to accept another judge, and also with the pods that we have to put in at the jail. But I really didn't get elected. I didn't really run for commissioner to build brick and mortar projects. I really ran rather to try and provide good, efficient government for everybody. And brick and mortar projects seem to be part of that at times. As Laramie County grows, so does the amount of projects that need to be done.
I don't know that there's any projects particular that I was involved in 2 years I was there. I was so concentrated on limited government and separating the needs versus the wants. I do see the land that we have out at Archer. That is some property that has been designated to be commercial, that we would start selling that property. I have no idea what a real estate company could sit on it for 2 years and not sell one piece of property. I think if you was to get a Bass Pro or a Cabela's or some Maverick gas station out there, that would be enhancing to the Archer project, something that would coincide with the fair being out there. Once you've sold one piece of property, then that would be a domino effect for other businesses to come in. We want Laramie County to flourish, but we want to put businesses out there that reflect our Western heritage also. So busy trying to be a limited government type person, you're busy trying to stop some of these larger projects. Rec Center, for example, has been on the ballot 3 times to try to save the taxpayers money. So